Hey everyone. Okay, so let's start standing. We're going to have heels together, toes apart, about a hand's width between your big toes, so not too much of a turnout. And draw the legs together, lengthen the tailbone down, lift the front of the pelvis up, lift the chest, lift up through the top of the head, relax the shoulders, weight slightly to the front of your feet, so slightly more weight in the balls of the feet than the heels. And try to spread your toes, have the weight even across the base of the big toe, little toe, and center of the heel. Keep lengthening up, and I want you to focus on your breath. So we're going to inhale, breathe into the sides and backs of the rib cage. Exhale, exhale as fully as you can, and just feel those abdominal muscles engage on your exhale. You don't need to actively think of drawing your abs in. If you exhale fully, the rib cage will close together and the abs will draw in anyway. So focus on the breath instead. And we're just going to start just to circle the shoulders around. Nice big circles. And one more. Good. And we're going to come down into some roll downs. So keeping the weight slightly forwards. And we think about rounding your lower back. So you're lifting your lower back up, using those abdominals as you do that. You drop the head down and roll down through each vertebra as best you can. So we're not looking to just reach the floor. We're looking to create a nice big curve through the back. So I can feel that stretch kind of here. I'm lifting my abs, arms are just hanging, and then I roll up. Good. We can do that 2 more times. I'll show you from this side as well. So squeezing those legs in and then rolling down, using the abs, use your breath, try and get that stretch to your back. I'm trying to think of getting my lower back to be the highest point as best as I can, and then rolling up. If you've got a tight back, it's quite a nice stretch to do. If your back is really tight, you can bend your knees a little bit as well. Last one. I'm just thinking of kind of extending my tailbone down towards the floor, lifting my pubic bone up, and then rolling up. Good. Take the arms out in front, cross the arms over, press them into each other, cross your legs over, lift up as you bend your knees and come all the way down. Good. So we're going to stay cross-legged for a minute. If you need to sit on a block, then please grab some blocks and sit on those. And you just want your knees relaxed, your shoulders relaxed. And we're just going to have our hands on our knees, let the shoulders drop down, let the elbows feel heavy. Focus on your breath again, weight equal in your seat bones. And we're going to turn the head and look over the shoulder. Back to center, other side. We do that once more on each side. So try not to let your chin drop down. Try and keep the chin at the same height as you rotate around. And last one. Back to center. Bring the ear to the shoulder. Try not to lean as you do that. So just let the weight of the head stretch the neck. And the other side. Keep the shoulders down. And back to center, some half head rolls. So just side to side. Two more. And back to center. Into some arm circles. So just taking both arms just out to the side. We're going to reach up, back and around. Just loosen up those shoulders. And then the other way. And then back to center. And we are going to take the elbows to our side, palms up, reach out through the fingertips. Imagine you've got like a tucked up newspaper underneath your arm. You're going to hold it there. And then we're just going to reach the arms out to the side and then back to center. Open the chest and back to center. Try not to think of squeezing your shoulder blades because then you'll probably arch your back at the same time, which we don't want to do. So the ribs stay back and we just open the front of the body and then back to center. Try to keep your elbows close by, so you don't want to have them out here, okay? So try and keep them close into your sides and open and close. Good, we're going to do two more. And then we're going to come back to center and we're going to take one arm out in front. So we're going to do an arm circle with a rotation. So we're going to take the arm up as high as we can without twisting and without our ribs flaring. So mine only goes to about here because I'm quite tight through my shoulders. And then we're going to rotate the arm. So the palm is going to turn forwards and you're going to keep rotating. That rotation comes from your shoulder. You rotate and you keep rotating and take the arm back. Try not to lean out of the way, okay? So try and keep sitting as upright as you can. So now, palm is facing outwards, thumb is pointing behind us. And we're going to go back and we're going to roll the shoulder and you're back to your start position. So that's one circle. So we go up, rotate, reach behind. Good. And we do three more on this side. So take your time. If your shoulder is making some horrible, weird noises, that's pretty normal for most people. If it hurts, then obviously you just need to make sure that you get that checked out. So if any of these exercises are not suitable for you, do a modification or skip it or do something else entirely, but do what is safe for you. Okay, so it's not about what I'm doing, it's about what's right for your body. I'm going to do that on the other side. So arm comes out in front and roll the shoulder. So one arm might not feel nearly as tight as the other. We all have a tighter side. We're just working on equally on both sides just to try and even everything up. And last one. Good. Back to center. I'm going to take one hand just to the side. We're going to come into some side bends. So we're going to reach up with the other arm. Try not to tip forwards or let your head drop forwards. Okay, try and look straight ahead the whole time. And we're going to reach this arm up and we're going to go over into a side bend. Just this elbow here that's resting on the floor just softens so it keeps the shoulder down. So you don't want to push into it. Just let that arm relax. Try and keep your weight on the outside seat bone so weight is equal on each side. And then other side. Keep your top arm straight if you can. We don't really want to bend it, but just see how it goes. If it feels too tight, then bend it. That's fine. Good. And remember to video me, or video yourself rather, don't video me. Video yourself doing exercises, either ones that you're struggling with or ones that you need a bit of help with, and send it over so that I can have a look and give you some feedback. And do that at any point throughout, just pause and grab your video and then back to center. Good. We're going to look at some rotations now. So that's going to be the theme of this session, is rotational exercises through our upper back. And we're going to do this first one cross-legged, and we're going to take one hand onto the opposite knee. Other hand's just going to rest behind you. If the hand is flat, notice how that just pulls me back, and I don't want that to happen. So sit equally on your seat bones and just rest your fingertips just down there behind you. So it's just there for a little bit of support. It's not, nothing, we're not really putting any weight down that arm. So we're going to inhale, we're going to lengthen. And exhale, you're going to twist and you're trying to look over that shoulder. And every time you inhale, I want you to sit a bit taller. And every time you exhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. Hold it for 5 breaths. Get a good rotation. And then when you come back to the middle, I want you to grow taller so we don't lose that height that we've just created. And you're going to switch the arms around and we'll do the same on the other side. So we're going to inhale and lift, exhale and twist. Look over the shoulder. Try and twist a bit more on every exhale. And grow taller again as you come back to the middle. We're going to do that again. So hand behind onto that first side, come into your rotation, hold it here. And after a couple of breaths, I want you to let go with this hand and we're going to come into some circles. So we're not doing the rotation, we're just doing a circle. Draw as big a circle as you can. Stay in your twist and circle the other way. Stay in your twist, even twist a little bit more. And then grow taller, back to the middle, other side. So go into your twist, hold for a couple of breaths. And then circle the arm. And the other way. And into your twist, twist a little bit more, and grow taller back to the middle. Good, circle your shoulders out. And then we're going to come on to all fours, and we're going to do a little twist on all fours. So, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and just a neutral position of the spine. So we're not rounded, we're not hollow backed, just the abs lifted, and you've got the natural curves of the spine. So from here, we are going to take our right hand and you're going to make a fist. So the arm's going to come out just in front. You can do this with a band if you want to, if you have one, but I'm going to show you without. So we've got our right hand in a fist, and the rotation for this exercise is through our thoracic spine, so in between our shoulder blades, and in this arm, or this shoulder rather, that's on the floor. So it's not so much about this arm. But anyway, we are going to make that fist. We're going to pull the hand up towards the elbow, like you're starting a lawnmower or something. Okay, so you're going to pull it up. elbow goes up. Then we're going to turn the chest and you're going to push into this arm and you're going to twist. And then come down. Hand straightens, pull up and twist. Hold, breathe, and down. 3 more. So the hips can twist around a little bit, but try and stabilize them as best you can. Last one. Remember to keep pushing through this shoulder and arm, and then we're going to do the other side. Okay, so make a fist, pull up, and rotate. Hold, that's it. You might find one side feels a lot tighter, so my right side here has been a lot tighter than my left one. I don't feel I can rotate as much, but we're going to work equally on each side, like I say, and hopefully, if I practice, then it should get better. And then back to center. So just sit back on your heels, have a little rest. Move your hands around. If you need to shake them out a bit, then do. And then we're going to come into another rotation. So this time, we're going to reach the right arm out to the side. And then we are going to twist up towards the ceiling. And we're going to thread this arm underneath the other one. We're going to bend this left elbow, but the elbow stays up to the ceiling. And we're going to push the right shoulder underneath. We're going to hold. And we're going to press down with the left arm. And we're going to reach up and twist. And thread through. And hold. Push that right shoulder underneath you as much as you can. And reach up. And through. And we'll do 2 more. Reach up. Through. Last one. And then back to center. So we're going to do the same on the other side. The arm comes up, twist, and reach through. Reach that left shoulder underneath your right one. And coming up. And 3 more. Really focusing on the upper back in between the shoulder blades, those tight areas that nearly all of us have. Keep trying to reach this arm underneath. And we'll do 1 more. And then back to center. Good. Sit back on your heels again. Reach those arms forwards. Stretching everything out. Good. Come up to sitting. Okay, take those legs out in front. Hold the backs of the thighs. Roll yourself carefully all the way down. And then bend your knees a little bit more. Feet hip width apart. Pelvis in neutral. So your back should hopefully feel a little bit more open and kind of a little bit wider on the floor. Reach your arms long, pelvis in neutral, pubic bone and two hip bones on the same plane, and then closing the gap between the lower back and the mat, and then return to neutral. So a few pelvic tilts. I want you to think about using those abdominals rather than legs or hands or shoulders to close that gap. I like to use an exhale to come into the pelvic tilt because I just feel that engages the abs a bit more. But as long as you're breathing, that's really the most important thing. Obviously, don't want to stop breathing. Good, so we're going to do 3 more. And last one. Good. Okay, we're going to come into some hip rolls and we're going to do it from a pelvic tilt. So we're going to tuck the tailbone under, come into your pelvic tilt, and then roll up through the spine, lift the hips up, use your glutes, use your legs, and roll down. So I like to exhale and lift, and then inhale at the top, and then exhale as I roll down. Do whatever feels best for you. Again, make sure you're breathing, make sure the back of the neck stays long. Try and take your gaze over the tops of your knees. And take your time. If you reach any tight spots through the back, just take your time as you roll down. You might want to pause, take another deep breath, and take, smaller movements. Do one more. And then come back to neutral. So we're going to bring the feet closer to our hips now and a little bit wider. So you can kind of see that my fingertips just brush my ankle bones there. So I'm taking them just a fraction forward, so just by the fingertips, just by the heels instead. And we're going to come into a pelvic tilt. We're going to go into a little upper back bend here. So I'm going to go into a pelvic tilt, and I'm going to lift the hips up, and then I'm going to clasp my hands together. So I'm going to interlace my fingers, and I'm going to roll my shoulders underneath, okay? Think of that little pelvic tilt. Use your abs, and then you use your arms. Try and push the upper back up as much as you can. So you don't want to feel this in your lower back. And then we're going to release the arms, and we're going to roll down. Do that once more. So little pelvic tilt. We're going to lift up, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders underneath you, push up, keep that pelvic tilt. Don't let your knees go too wide. Keep drawing them in. Release the hands and roll all the way down. Good. Hug the knees in. Just rock side to side. And then slowly coming back to the middle. Good. Take the feet onto the floor. We're going to take the feet hip width apart and then take your arms a little bit wider. And I'm just going to take both knees over to the right, keeping my shoulders down. Just let the feet just roll over onto their sides. And from here, you can either keep your head in the center like I am, or you can turn your head and look over the opposite shoulder, whichever feels more comfortable for you. And then when I come back to center, and then we take the legs the other way, so they go over with control, head stays in the middle or over the opposite shoulder. And then back to center. Good. Okay, we're going to straighten the left leg. I'm going to bring the right knee into the chest, and we'll take hold of the right knee with the left hand. And then we're going to draw that leg across, keep your right shoulder down, and go as far as you can until you feel a bit of a stretch. A nice stretch, shouldn't feel a horrible stretch. And then back to center, and switch the arms and legs around. The right hand on left knee, and then going across, and turn the head. And then back to center. Good. Hug the knees in again. And then we need a block or a cushion. So from here, you're just going to grab your block. Let me have that this end. And you're going to lay on your side with your knees bent. So we're here. Just get that out the way there. And arms are stacked one on top of the other. So either have your legs kind of out in front at like 90 degrees, or you can have them so your feet are in line with your hips and shoulders, whichever feels more comfortable for you. So we're going to start with the arms outstretched in front, and we're going to inhale. We're going to keep the shoulder down as best we can, and we're going to inhale, lift the arm up towards the ceiling, turn your head to look at your fingertips, and as you exhale, you're going to twist around so the chest turns up towards the ceiling, your hips stay facing forwards. Try not to let this arm go floppy, so it only moves because your chest has rotated round. And we're just going to hold, and then come back to your start position. So inhale, lift up, exhale, rotate, hips stay forwards. And back to center, 3 more. Try and keep the shoulder down. See if you go a little bit further each time. And back to center. Good. So now with this top arm, we're going to reach as far forwards as we can, as if we're trying to reach across a table. And keeping the arm straight, we're going to take it above the head. So we go around, head can follow the hand again, and then keep your hips facing forwards, your arms straight, and circle around. Keep the arm as close to the floor as you can. Okay, so we reach, go above, all the way around, and there it gets really tight, and just make sure you're breathing. Good. And we'll do 2 more. Good. Back to center. Okay, we're going to turn over. We're going to do that on the other side. So starting with our rotations. So we're here. And then reaching up. Turn the chest, shoulder away from the ear. Oh, and that feels tighter this side. Just taking your time, breathe. Remembering to keep that top hip forwards. Take your time. You can hold these for longer if you want to. Do whatever feels good for you. And we'll do one more. Back to center, and then we're going to reach as far forwards as we can and sweep the arm around. Keep it straight, keep those hips forwards. Remember to breathe. Keep the arm as close to the floor as you can. Reach and around. Last one. Good, and back to center. Come up to sitting. Pop your block or cushion over to one side, and then feet out in front, knees bent. We're going to do some half rollbacks. So sitting up nice and tall, either support your upper body with your hands behind your legs, or take your arms out in front. That's where I'm going to go today. And then sit tall as you exhale, round your back without collapsing. So long spine. Create a gentle C curve through the spine, roll back. Go as far as you can with control or until your lower back reaches the mat. And just keep breathing, keep moving. And we'll do 3 more. But you know I'm not very good at counting, so it might be more. I do try. I just can't count and talk. Have we got one more? Let's do one more. This is why Pilates teachers always say just one more. They keep saying it over and over. And back to center. Just circle your shoulders. And then we're going to roll all the way down. So you can hold your legs there, roll yourself down, and then bring the feet in a little bit more. We're going to do some chest lifts. So I'm going to keep the fingertips on the floor just because I find that it helps to keep my shoulders down if I think of sliding my hands towards my toes. So I'm going to inhale to prepare, and as I exhale, I'm going to lift the head, lift the chest, reach the fingertips to the toes, and roll down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale down. So keeping the pelvis in neutral. Try not to squish the lower back into the mat. And we'll do one more. And back to center. Coming into the 100, do your version of the 100. If you want to keep the feet down, keep the feet down. You can lift them into tabletop. You can have them at 45 degrees. You can have them here. Do whatever version you need to do. If you need to keep the head and chest down, please do that. And we're not going to hold it for a count of 100. We're just going to do a bit of it. So we're going to curl up. I'm going to lift my legs to 45 degrees. You do your version. Squeeze your legs together. Pump the arms. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Keep focusing on your breath. Just think of this as a nice, easy breathing exercise. And bring those legs in. Roll back. Just rock side to side. Good. And we're going to come into our roll-ups. So I will do the full version, but if you need to bend your knees and hold the backs of your thighs, then you can do that. And if you can't get up at all, then maybe go back and do your half rollbacks instead. So start sitting and roll back as far as you can with control and then roll up. So pick your variation, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be the same one as you did last time. And we're going to reach the arms overhead. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll all the way up. Reach forwards. And rolling back. Keep the feet as still as you can. Try and roll up and down the spine as smoothly as you can. Keep squeezing those legs together. Try and press them into the floor. Good. And do one more. And roll yourself all the way down. Bring your arms down by your side, and we're going to bring the knees into the chest. So we're going to start here. Now we're going to try and do some rollover prep. So I want you to just think about bringing your knees towards your nose. And squeeze your legs together and try and get those hips off the floor. Now to begin with, it might just be a little movement like that. That's absolutely fine. You're still going to work those abdominals. So don't worry about how far you're moving. And you can use your arms to help. So you can really feel this through the backs of the arms. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to come in and down. So as long as you're doing it with control, I'm not worried how far you go. Make sure the back of the neck stays long, okay? So you don't want to come up here. I don't want to see any swinging legs, thank you very much. And I don't want you to roll back onto your neck. This would be a good time actually to film yourself so I can check up on you. So we're going to draw in and down. Good. Do 2 more for me. And then back to center. Just hug the knees in, rock side to side. I know they're no one's favourites, but we have to do them, so they're good for us. So we're going to come into some leg circles now. So let's take our legs down. We're going to straighten that left leg, flex the foot. Now really think about pressing the back of this left leg into the floor. Left hip stays nice and steady. Right leg's going to come up towards the ceiling. I want you to just hold the back of the thigh and just draw some circles with your foot. Just do 3 in each direction. And then point the foot. Draw it back for a bit more of a stretch if you can. Don't worry if you can't. Bring the arms down. We're going to go across the left leg, down towards the floor and around. Keep that left hip nice and steady. Keep your right leg straight. Make sure the back of the neck is long. And then we're going to go the other way. So out to the sides and around. Hold the leg again. Flex and point the foot. One more. And lower that leg down. Good. So that leg should feel a bit looser, a bit longer. You're going to flex the right foot. You're going to press down through your right hip. Lift the left leg. Hold the back of the leg. Circle the ankle. And the other way. And then pull the leg back for a little bit more of a stretch. Arms by your side. Keep the right hip still this time and go across, down and around. So in the mat work series, I think this is the first ab exercise in disguise. Everyone thinks it's about their leg, but actually it's those lower abdominals, pelvic floor working really hard. And the other way. I think that was 5. And back to center, hold the leg and flex and point. Good. Lower that leg down. Come up to sitting. Flex both the feet, arms come up, rolling up. And when you come towards the front of the mat, so you've got a little bit of room behind you. And we're going to start our roll like a ball practice. So I'm going to start with straight legs. So it's a really good way of just engaging those abs a bit more. And I just like this way of doing it. So hands come out in front. And we're going to rock to the back of the seat bones. Squeeze your legs together. Keep a nice round back. And we're going to try and keep the upper body here. So as the legs come in, I don't want you to lean back more. In fact, I want you to think about leaning forwards a little bit to stop yourself from going back. Okay, so we're here. And then we're going to use our abs. And I imagine that there's like a bit of string from my belly button attached to my heels. And as I draw my belly button back, it's going to pull my feet in towards me. So I have to really pull everything in to pull those feet in and then keep reaching the upper body forward. See if you can get your feet off. Look over your knees and then extend away. So we maintain this shape the whole time with the back. So squeeze everything in. We're going to scoop and pull those feet in. Can we get them off the floor? And down. Last one. And we're going to hold either behind your thighs or your shins. Keep the chin tucked in. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, roll up. Find that balance point. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the chin tucked in so you don't roll onto your neck. Get your hips up. So this is good practice for your rollover like we did earlier on. Last one. And back to center. Good. Okay, let's roll all the way down. We're just going to do a couple of the ab series, and then we're going to come back to our rotations in a sec. So let's take our left leg out in front, and we're going to hold our right leg. And we have right hand on the right ankle, left hand just on the shin. We're going to roll back and keep our head and chest on the floor. If you want to do your modification, please do it now. So you don't have to do what I'm doing. Left leg's going to come up. We're going to pull the right leg in, pull, pull, and switch. Left hand, left ankle, pull, pull, and switch. Good. Keep your pelvis nice and steady. Work those abs. Make sure the upper body is lifted if you're doing that bit. Do 2 more on each side. Reach out through that extended leg. Back to center. Roll down. If you want to keep your head and chest down for double leg stretch, please do. Just make sure that your legs go up towards the ceiling and not to 45 degrees, okay? So I'm going to do the chest lift. You do your version. Curl up. We're going to inhale, reach. Exhale, the arms come round and we hug the knees in. Inhale. Good. 3 more. Try not to let the upper body drop down as you reach your arms back. I know it's hard. It's one of the hardest exercises that we do. And then roll back and rock side to side. Good. Okay, let's rock up to sitting. So cross your ankles, hold your ankles and rock up. I'm going to come into spine stretch forwards. Okay. Feet about about mat width apart. So I don't want them too wide, okay? And if your hamstrings are tight, just bend your knees. And if they're really tight, then you can grab a block and sit on a block as well. So you can be here if you need to. I'm not going to use that, but if you need to do that, that's fine. We'll just keep working on stretching out those legs. Right, okay, so hands between the knees, and we're going to sit up really tall. So you're looking for as much length to your spine as you can. I want you to imagine you're going to create a little bit of extra space between each vertebra. And we never compromise on the position of our back. So if your legs are straight, but your back is here and you can't lift up, because you just can't, then grab that block or bend your knees and lift, okay? Create that length through your waist. So you want to like stretch you out, make you taller and thinner. That's what we all want, isn't it? So we're going to start here. We're going to draw those legs in. We're going to use our bottom. We're going to lift everything up. Hands are between the knees. Inhale here. Exhale, you're going to roll down, keeping your lower back pulled behind you. Okay, so we're not here. It's not a forward bend. It's that roll like a ball shape. Drawing everything back here. Weight slightly to the back of your seat bones as the upper body reaches forwards. And you get that lovely spine stretch. And we inhale and we lift up and we sit as tall as we can again. And we exhale and we round. So this nice stretch is our reward for doing those ab series exercises. I know we only did 2, but we still deserve a reward. And then round. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale to lengthen up. Exhale to round forwards. Now you can breathe the other way round with this, but it is, I think, more effective to exhale because as you come forwards, because it creates a bit more space, a bit more room for you to get your head down towards the floor. And inhale and lift up. Good. Okay, we're going to take our legs together. And again, if you need to bend your knees, do that. If you need to sit on a block, do that. These are more important than having the legs straight. Now, you want to try, if you've got, no matter where your legs are, whether they're bent or straight, I want you to think about having your toes in a straight line. So I don't want this or any other strange thing with our feet. I just want our toes in one straight line. Now, for some of you, that might be challenging enough, and you might need to bend your knees, you might need to adjust things slightly. Lots of people, feet turn out like that, so you might need to think of pushing the bases of the big toes forwards and pulling the outside edges back. Do, just practice, play around with it, take note of what is going on with your feet there. We're going to sit up really tall again. So you need that space and length in your lower back. And we're going to take our hands onto our shoulders. Okay, so we're here. And then I want you to think about just pulling those elbows very gently back until you feel those upper back muscles engaged. I don't want you to pull them back here so that you change the position of your back. I just want you to gently pull them to the side and back until you feel a little engagement. So try and keep your shoulders down. We're not wearing them as earrings. We want to bring them away from our ears. Keep those feet in a nice straight line. And as we exhale, we're going to twist around. So we exhale, turn your head, keep those elbows gently pulled back, and then inhale, grow taller back to the center. Exhale and twist. Ooh, I'm just rocking over to my left seat bone there. Make sure you stay in the middle. And back to center. So weight stays equal in your seat bones, and you don't want this to happen with your feet, okay? So you don't want to twist through your pelvis. Keep your toes in a straight line. So we're here. Inhale back to center. Exhale and twist. So as I twist to my right, I really desperately want to do that. So I've really got to focus on keeping some weight in my left seat bone. And back to center, one more each side. Taller, last one. And back to center. Good. Okay, just bring your arms down, just circle your shoulders, quite hard work to have your arms are quite heavy. And if you need to bend your knees and move your legs around, then do that. So we're going to go into another rotation now. We are going to go into the saw. We're going to do a little modified version of it. And for this one, we have our feet wider than the mat. So I'm going to use these little blocks. If you've just got a normal mat, then obviously just take your feet onto the floor beside. Again, feet are flexed if you can. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. And we're going to do this with our hands on our shoulders again. So we're going to come into a rotation first, and then I want you to think of spine stretch forwards and the twist that we've just done, and like combine the two to make the saw. So we're sitting really tall. We're going to exhale. You're going to twist around, and you're going to reach forwards. You're going to keep your weight equal in your seat bones, and think of keeping it slightly towards the back of the seat bones. So your elbow is kind of coming right down in the middle, if it reaches that far. Inhale, come up. Exhale, twist and reach down. Inhale, unravel. Two more. Two more each side. So we've still got two more to go. And then back to center. Bring those arms down, circle your shoulders. Good. Okay, we're going to lay down on our front now. We're going to do a couple of little back extensions. So you've got to remember to engage everything and make sure that you're not hinging off your lower back. So let's start with a nice one. So we're going to have our hands nice and wide, level with our shoulders. Now, I'm going to have my feet about hip width apart. You can take yours wider if you need to. It's entirely up to you. I wouldn't recommend taking them closer together unless you're really sure that you're not going to use your lower back. But do your own version. So we are going to have hands wider than the mat, elbows lifted, and your hands are in line with your shoulders. And then from there, reach back through your legs. The legs are really long. Pelvis is pressed into the mat. Belly button is lifted up. And we're going to lift the upper body. No weight in the hands. Try not to overextend your neck. And then roll down. So try and focus on your upper back here. 2 more. So you see, there's no weight in my hands here. I'm just using those upper back muscles. Last one. And rolling down. Now this time I'm going to do 2 more, but I'm going to use my hands to come up a little bit higher. If this goes into your lower back, just go back and do the first version. Okay, so reach back through the legs. We lift up. No weight in my hands here. Then I'm going to gently think about pulling my chest forwards, my arms back, and come up a little bit more. But there's no tension in my lower back. This is all my upper back, my not very bendy upper back, I must say. And then roll down. And last one. Reach back through those legs, lifting up and rolling down. You can come up higher, so you can straighten the arms if that's good for you. But if that means that your shoulders come up to your elbows, if your shoulders come up to your ears, I don't want to see that. So you've got to keep those shoulders down. And then from there, we're just going to step back and reach the arms forwards and just breathing into your back. Good. And then roll up to sitting. So we're going to do a little bit on the side leg, not too much, and then finish with some side bends and some stretches. So let's lay down, line yourself up with the back edge of the mat, and then I want you to bend your knees so your feet are in line with your hips and shoulders. Try and look straight ahead. Try not to look at your knees because they're going to bring the neck out of alignment. This hand is just going to rest gently down here. Hips stay stacked. And we're just going to lift our top knee up and lower down. I'm going to aim for 10, but do bear in mind that I can't count and talk. Three more. And now lift the feet up. And we do the same thing. So you're going to lift your knee and down. Try and look straight ahead. Remember to breathe. Three more. And we're just going to do 5 of these next ones. So we're going to keep the feet lifted. I'm going to lift the top knee, extend the leg, try and straighten it, bend so the feet come together, lower the knee down. So we lift, extend, bend, down. 3 more. Good. And then we are going to turn over. We do those on the other side. So line yourself up with the back edge of the mat. It's the easiest way to make sure that you're straight. Bend your knees, hips back, hand resting down, and lift and lower. Try and look straight ahead. Three more. And lift the feet, and our knee lifts again. Three more. Good. Keep those feet lifted. We're going to do 5. So we lift, extend, bend, knee down. Lift, extend, bend, down. And last one. And back to center. Good. Okay, come up to sitting. And we're just going to do a little side stretch. And we're going to have our feet or legs in like a mermaid position. So both legs are over to one side. And we're going to rest our hand. Move that a little bit. Rest our hand just to the side here. We're going to reach up and we're going to go over. Now, as you reach across, try not to just let this seat bone lift up. I want you to think about pressing it down and try and soften this elbow so your shoulder stays away from your ear. So we just reach across, little side bend, come up, hold your ankles and reach over the other way. Good. Hand comes down, reach up, reach over, and then hold your ankle, reach up, try and reach your kind of ear to your ankle. One more on this side. And back to center. Take your hands to the side. See if you can take your legs out in front and switch them round. Hand just rest to the side, reach up, over, hold your ankle, reach across. Nice big stretch. Good. We'll do that once more. And back to center. Good. Come on to all fours. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's just round into a big cat stretch. And then come back to neutral. Tuck your toes. Round your back. See if you can lift your knees just a little bit. And then straighten the legs and push your chest back towards your thighs. Look towards your belly button. And push the floor away with your hands. And you can just walk the legs out here a little bit. Keep those abs engaged, okay, so you don't go into your lower back. And then push both heels down. Walk your hands into your feet. And then roll yourself all the way up. Have your heels together, toes apart, and then we're going to draw those legs in. We're going to inhale, reach up, look towards your thumbs, exhale, grow taller as the arms come down. Inhale and exhale. Good, well done everybody. See you soon.